Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the final round of the Mégane Trophy, sponsored by PMR Racing, here hosted by NXTGEN. I'm Jack TM53 Synopsis, your commentator, as always, for this championship, and we've got a three-way showdown going into this final event here at the Red Bull Ring. And the drivers out on circuit at the moment, just during this practice session. We are literally moments away from going live for qualifying. But the three drivers fighting for the overall honours of the championship tonight. Ruddo 24, the current championship leader. NXTGEN Hirakram, who's in second place. And Bruce Lee Harden, who's just off to the side of the track at the moment. He is in fourth in terms of the practice times. It's going to be fascinating to see how the drivers get on around this. Interesting circuit in the Austrian hills, around on the outskirts of Spielberg. But I'm sure we're in for a very exciting race. I'll let the drivers know now. Hi P. Gibb. Just going to put qualifying starting. We'll go back into the race settings, get qualifying underway. 10-minute qualifier, the last qualifying session of the season. 7 drivers tonight, so it's going to be an all-out fight realistically for those championship positions, those all-important championship positions. And there we go. The timer has begun, qualifying has commenced. It's going to be fascinating to see who will take this championship crown between the three drivers. Ruddo 24, the first out on track, the championship leader, as I mentioned before. Going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top. P. Gibb just making a comment saying he's still got half a brew left. But looking at the drivers overall in terms of the championship standings, we'll just run through them here. Ruddo 24, who we're following at the moment, he leads the way on 301. Now, there are drop scores in the Mégane Championship. Ruddo doesn't have any scores to drop. He missed out on one round, so he doesn't have any scores to drop. So he's on a 301 regardless. NXTGEN Hirakram, he's second in the championship. He's just overtaken here, Ruddo out on circuit. He's on 298. He doesn't have any drop scores either, so there's just 3 points separating those two. Third, with the outside chance of the championship, Bruce Lee Harden just running down in 6th there. 6th out on circuit. He's on 268. He does have, unfortunately, 2 drop scores to take into account, which drops him from 268. Unfortunately, he was originally on 292 going into the event, but those drop scores have played out against him. So, realistically, the championship is between Hirakram and Ruddo. Could be some circumstances that cause Hirakram and Ruddo maybe to retire, but it's down to these two. These are the two showstoppers for tonight, and the first laps are underway now as they come towards turn 1. D. Whitehouse giving support to Jainio and Hirakram and Jack CD as well. And Hirakram's already picked up a penalty, so that's his first lap already on the back burner, so Ruddo will see that. Psychological advantage already for Ruddo, knowing that he hasn't made a mistake. Jainio just coming into turn 2. Good to see Jainio. Down into turn 3 rather. Jack just following him right in behind. Not ideal in terms of positive lap time. Deskyver there in 5th. Bruce Lee's also picked up a penalty as well, so 2 of the 3 championship protagonists already picking up a penalty on their opening lap. Hello to 1805 as well in commenting, and everyone else who's watching currently. And then P. Gibb, the Steel Seal car. He's currently just getting himself together. Going to be fascinating to see how the drivers get on around this circuit. Thank you to JPH subscribing there through Prime. Evening to yourself. Let's see who's out on track. So Ruddo will be the first driver to set a lap time. He's being tracked by Hirakram, who's going to have a good opportunity to slipstream him around this circuit. So let's ride on board of Hirakram. Ruddo has a penalty, so those two not setting representative lap times of their own ability as Janio goes fastest. Down on the brakes into turn 1 then for Hirakram. Into third gear, flicks the car through at turn 1, runs over the sausage curb on the left-hand side, and then runs up towards turn 2, the sweeping right-left, so to speak. The right part isn't classified as a corner, but the left, as we come up to the kink here, is under the Futura advertising boards. Then on the brakes at 100 metres, down into second gear for turn 3. Clips the inside line, nice and smooth on the throttle application from Hirakram. And up into fourth gear, rides the crest, relatively straightforward. And then towards turn 4. Got to try and nail the braking point after the 100 metre mark, which he does. Down into turn 4, has to gear down to second. That'll have cost him a little bit of momentum coming off the corner. Through turn 5, completely flat in the Méganes, regardless of whether it's wet or dry. And on the brakes to turn 6. Third gear used for Hirakram. Nice application on the throttle. A little later than what he would have wanted ideally, but still nice nevertheless. Stays in fourth gear for turn 7. He's purple in the second sector. Nice exit coming through turn 8. Then the most difficult corners on the circuit to nail in terms of speed and lap time. A lot of time gained here in these last two corners. Down into fourth. Clips the inside curb. Does Hirakram. Runs it over the exit curb. Now can he nail the turn 10? He can. He gets the line perfectly. Runs it out over the curb at turn 10. Let's have a look at his lap time. To 1:31.3. He's 2/10 clear of Janio. He's provisionally pole. Jack CD with a great effort to go provisionally fastest. More time to come from Hirakram. Jack certainly putting himself in a position there to upset the apple cart with the championship fight. With this being such a small grid tonight as well, there's could be some tactics played in terms of the reverse grid. Don't rule that out in terms of the first race. And Janio in third, Ruddo fourth. He's 8/10 back from Jack, but let's not forget he had to slow down on that lap, so a bit of momentum lost there. Pete Gibby's settled into a 32 flat so far. Bruce Lee outside of the 31s currently. Had a great season though, Bruce Lee, it has to be said, even if he doesn't win tonight. Really impressed both Hirakram and Ruddo in terms of his driving. He's been right in the thick of it all the way through the season and is rightfully so a championship protagonist tonight. Outside chance, but the number 69 has a chance nonetheless. Hello to Matt Emmons, who's just commented there. They are quite fun to drive, I won't lie. Duskiver running around. I've been impressed with Duskiver on a personal level. Watched him through Lobby 2 last season. His progression into Lobby 1's been really good. Be fascinating to see how the drivers get on in terms of the upcoming regulations change for next season, but I'll talk more about that at the end. As Hirakram sets a new benchmark, it's a 31.026. Ruddo goes quicker with a 30.997. First driver into the 1 minute 30s. Nice beneficiary of the tow from Janio there. And Jack is in the pits. So 6 cars circulating on circuit. Janio just moving out of the way for Ruddo. So maybe a bit of gamesmanship going on already between the drivers. Duskiver set his new personal best. Bruce Lee also does as well. But 1 second. Yes, 18.05. I'll talk about those later on. There are regulation changes next season. I'll talk about them then. P. Gibb on a 31.9, so he's inside the 31s now. About just less than half a second back from Janio's P. Gibb. But the slipstream around here is very beneficial for the drivers. So let's see how the race goes. If Duskiver, for example, can keep on the back of the train, could be a 7-car fight for the lead. Bruce Lee as well, 32 flat. He hasn't got any one to follow. Nor has Duskiver. Ruddo trying to put his best effort in so far. 2 minutes 25 on the session as Janio has a penalty, as does Ruddo. So he's clearing that, getting rid of it immediately. What about Hirakram as it comes around the final corner at turn 10? Don't forget a point for pole position. But no improvement from Hirakram. 0.15 of a second behind the championship leader. Ruddo goes on to his lap. Janio does as well. Jack CD is now circulating on track, so he'll have enough time for 2 laps. Janio starting his lap. Pete Gibb just clearing that penalty. See if Duskiver, does he improve? He doesn't. A little bit slower that time around. Bruce Lee comes towards the line. What's his lap time going to be? He does improve. It's a 31.7. Moves him to the prime spot on the third row of the grid. But he's still got the best part of 3/10 to find on Jainho and 8/10 to the leaders. Which I have to say, bit of slipstream certainly is helpful around here. The toe, it does have quite a lot of lap time to be gained. But Ruddo in the lead by just 0.03 of a second. But this is a point gained for him currently. It'll stretch his advantage out to 4 points in the championship fight. And every point in these two races tonight will count. There's no drop scores for Ruddo and Hirakram to worry about. This is an out-and-out fight. They both know the situation they're in. There's a point gained for fastest lap too, so there's motivation during the race too to keep up the pace. Hirakram comes towards the line, and it's a 1:30.9. Hirakram gets himself on the front row of the grid. Ruddo has slowed right down, and in fact, I think he's lost a bit of momentum. Let's just see Jainho's speed as he comes into the breaker zone. 1:40. And Ruddo a couple of miles an hour down. So I think he made a little mistake there. And Hirakram closes the gap, as I said earlier. And he's got a penalty as well, does Ruddo. So he's not going to improve on this lap. So Hirakram, as it stands, just 2 points behind the 4-time champion of the Mégane Trophy Series, as P. Gibb gets a 31.5 in, and Jainho does a 31.3. So very close in the top 5. Half a second practically covering those 5 drivers. Bruce Lee a little bit further back. He's got a nice slipstream from P. Gibb in front of him. And you can see the effect it's having already, a 10th and a bit. Ooh, P. Gibb getting the braking all wrong for turn 3. That's his lap time done. Skyver just giving a little bit of a benefit to Jack CD behind. A lot of support for Gibbo in the chats. I'm 18.05. Ruddo getting comments as well, but Hirakram will be the first one to see the checkered flag on the next lap. So what does he do as he comes across the line? It's a 30.7. It's another improvement without the slipstream. Fabulous effort from Hirakram. What about Jainho? Can he now improve as he comes towards the line? Can he get on the front row? He can't. He stays 4th. Ruddo, has he improved? No, he hasn't. He's not going to get into first place, so he's losing the point there. Skyver and Jack CD. Jack CD's had a slipstream all the way around this lap. Will he improve? Skyver does. Jack doesn't. He stays in 3rd. Pete Gibb, Bruce Lee. Oh, he's sideways coming out the final corner. Does Bruce Lee make any improvement? No, he's done with that lap. Pete Gibb's not going to improve either. So it's Hirakram who strikes first in qualifying. He gets the pole position point. 2 points separating Ruddo and Hirakram at the top of the championship. But now we go into the race. So 7 drivers on the grid. It's Hirakram on the right hand side in that green and white Joyce design car. Ruddo in the black and red Geisen car on the left. Jack CD, Jainho just in behind. But there's 20 minutes on the right hand side. Here come the numbers. And the race is live from Red Bull Ring. It looks like a fairly even start from the front too, and it's Hirakram who just edges into the lead. Looking at the battle in 4th and 5th, looking at P. Gibb on the outside going into turn 1. Will he get round Bruce Lee Harden? He doesn't, but it's all relatively neat and tidy so far, and Ruddo on the attack all immediately. He's all on the rear spoiler of Hirakram as they come towards turn 3. He's going to be on the outside line as they approach. On the right hand side, Ruddo trying to not give any room for Hirakram, trying to limit the steering lock that Hirakram has, and Hirakram fights back, pushes him onto the curb. Jack was getting involved there. He couldn't quite get through, and he's actually lost a touch of momentum. Jainho right on the back of him. Let's get the camera angles and follow it a little bit more closely. Jack CD under pressure from Jainho. Jack just brakes a little bit later, a little bit sideways going into turn 4 from Jack. Bruce Lee just in behind in 5th. P. Gibb, Skyver. So far so good from the drivers. Going through turn 5, no issues there. We're 10-6. But Hirakam leading the way. And I suspect it'll be even Stevens for the time being. These two will want to try and pull away from everyone else if they can. But it's going to require quite a bit of effort, because Jack CD's certainly shown tonight that he's capable of keeping up with these two. And Jainho. Bruce Lee a little bit further back. He's got a penalty to try and contend with. And Skyver there in 7th. But Hirakam under pressure already from Ruddo as they come towards turn 1. Will Ruddo look to move the inside? He doesn't. Stays in behind, extends the corner slightly by running further over the curve. He's got a nice exit as well. So it looks like he's going to have another attempt going around the outside at turn 3. He's on the inside for turn 2. Jack CD just watching this a little bit further back. Look at Ruddo pulling to the right hand side. He's limiting where Hirakam can steer, and then moves at the final moment to get a better exit out of the corner. Hirakam a little bit sideways on the throttle coming out of turn 3, but he's still holding the line. He looks to the outside as Ruddo doesn't this time, trying to do a little bit of a almost Mansell-esque move to dummy him. He's going to try and go around the outside at turn 4. Hirakam slightly on the curb. That's going to cost him the momentum, and Ruddo, has he got his nose far along enough? He does indeed. Can he brake a little bit later now to consolidate the position, which he does? And the 24 takes the lead. Good move. Good racing between the two. Jack CD's now right involved in it. Jainho's there. Bruce Lee's there. P. Gibbs just lost the slipstream. That might be a lonely race between himself and Duskiver, unless Fighter can care and further up the field. It's Hirakam's turn to attack now. And Jack CD will want to get involved. He'll want to take part as well. Difficult one to say. Realistically, it's all within the boundaries. I'd say there's nothing wrong at the moment, and I know that Hirakam's had no issues with manoeuvres like that during the season. You can see Hirakam's all over the back of him, but he's just lost a little bit of momentum, and Jack CD's right there. So, will he go to the outside line? He knows that there's an opportunity here to get up the inside of Hirakam, whether he can or not. But then Hirakam gets bumped further along. Oh, Jack a little bit later on the brakes, just avoids hitting the back of the pole position driver. Jainho there in 4th, Bruce Lee in 5th. This is the quintet now. Duskiver and P. Gibb, they lost the slipstream. That's pretty much it for them. But Hirakam on the line. D. Whitehouse just commenting that Jack knows that he can't let those two get away. That's the right thing to do, realistically, to stay in behind these two. Just follow them for the time being, keep up with them, and then make an attack later in the race if need be. Ruddo at the moment would push his gap to 5 points in the championship if he defeats Hirakam in this race, and that would give him a little buffer that he'd need going into the final 15-minute reverse sprint race, which will happen in roughly 25 minutes time. At the moment, comments flying in the chat area at the moment, and Ruddo and Hirakam are just extending their advantage over Jack at the moment, coming up towards 9/10 as they approach turn 3. Actually, beyond that, that gap extending further out. He needs a good exit here, Jack, otherwise he's going to lose the toe. And Hirakam will be absolutely free to fight with Ruddo. No pressure from behind. But currently, Ruddo looking to just hold on to this lead. Hirakam, he won't want Jack to come along. He might not want to attack, but if Ruddo wants to play it defensively, he could always just back Hirakam into Jack if he wanted to. There's tense moments here. Round 10 of the season, the final round. The last 20-minute race of the season. Jack 1.1 to the leading duo at this point. Jainho's there, Bruce Lee's right with him. Skyver and P. Gibb having their own little inter fight at the moment, and Ruddo's got fastest lap too to consider. That's an extra point on top of his championship points total so far. He's got a little bit wrong at the final corner. did Ruddo. And Hirakram fights back. He takes faster lap this time around. A 1:30.9. 2.6, exactly the same, in fact, as his pole position lap time. Incredible effort. Of course, as well, here comes Hirakram. Is he right in the slipstream this time? Now he's got an opportunity. He's going to look to the outside line at turn 3 on the right hand side as we approach. And Ruddo doing it once again, just limiting where Hirakram can turn. Gets forced wide within his rights, within next gen rules to do so. But Hirakram's still there alongside. Ruddo won't be able to shut the door. But as I say that, Hirakram just slots in behind. Oh, just watching the break in there from Ruddo. I thought for a moment he was going to slide wide, but he kept it in. D. Hartley commenting support for Ruddo. Nice to see equal support amongst the community for both drivers. These two have been at the top of their game in the last 2 seasons in Lobby 1. And it all comes down to this once again. The final round, just like last season. Slipstream again from Hirakram up towards turn 9. Approaching brink curve, but doesn't look for a manoeuvre. 12 minutes and a half to go in the session. Still a long way. Long amount of racing left to do as Ruddo goes sideways through that final corner. Just looking at Jack in 3rd place at the moment. He's not affecting the championship fight in terms of the overall points total as well. Look at Hirakram briefly darting out on Ruddo, just giving him something to think about. But back to my point about Jack, he's not taking points off anyone. He's still classified as a filler. So if he were to win, 2nd place would still get 21 points. Which is the victory total. But look at Jainho, Hirakram as well, trying to make a move. Just going to skip forward a little bit. In fact, Jainho up the inside, Jack with a penalty. Jainho up to 3rd. Good effort from him. No change at the front. Hirakram right in the slipstream. He's going to go to the outside. He tried to do a little switch back down the straight. Ruddo wise to that. Ruddo again limiting what angle Hirakram can take into the corner. And Ruddo will be elbows out. I guarantee it. This will be the time when drivers need to throw everything they can into winning this championship, and it means a lot to the pair of them. Ruddo with the opportunity to be the first man ever to beat Hirakram in a championship fight. Hirakram looking to do something that's never been done in Next Gen before. 5 consecutive championships in the same series. That's never been done before. 4 consecutive titles went to Next Gen Scooby G back in the day in Project Cars 2. That was a long time ago. So Hirakram could have the record outright here. D. Hartley just saying he's missed racing. It'd be good to have you back. But Hirakram right in behind as they come towards this halfway mark. Having a little look back, Jainho's got a penalty he's picked up. Jack CD. Breesley just not making an impression on these two just yet. As it stands, championship crown will mathematically slip away from him. Hirakram again looking for the outside line, trying to get a better exit off turn 3. Now the slipstream starts. We'll ride on bonnet cam with Hirakram. Oh, which way do you go there if you're Hirakram? You could see Ruddo thought he was going to move to the outside, but he decided not to. Bit of tactics. Hirakram's going to have to try and force his way through here. We know Hirakram is an exceptionally clean driver, but he's going to have to take one small opportunity, like potentially there would have been an example if he had been close enough. Chuck one up the inside, see what sticks. JPH just giving me a correction there, which is a rarity in terms of the championship. But if that's the case, then he could at least equal Scooby G's 4 titles in a row, which is still an incredible effort. But Hirakram wants another title under his rear spoiler. Oh, Hirakram on the edge of the curb. The best chance for Hirakram might be coming towards turn 3, realistically. It seems that Ruddo has the line covered at turn 4. It's a very difficult corner to overtake at. And as a driver, you know, we've got, you know, former champions of the Méganes in our commentary, or rather our lobby area currently in the chat room. You know, D Whitehouse, former champion of Lobby 2, has been in this position before and will know the mentality that's needed for a driver that needs to make a move, and will look for any opportunity to try and throw a car at the inside, maybe have a little sniff somewhere that you wouldn't think of usually. Trying those alternative lines, those final showdown moments. It's all about the psyche for Hirakam. He knows that at the moment, currently, he's following Ruddo. There's not much opportunity at the moment. But that doesn't mean to say there won't be in the remaining 8 minutes of this race. And the pair, you know, D Whitehouse as well saying he had a little bit of mind games going on at the time, but that also has been going on all the way through today between the two of them, between Ruddo and Hirakam. They've both been winding each other up. But you know with these two that those type of things don't plan out with them. They both know what they're both capable of, and they'll be basing this down now to raw ability and who will take the most chances. 7.5 minutes remaining. Ruddo still leading. His championship advantage would extend to 4 points if things stay as they are. If Hirakam gets past him, then he would be leading the championship by 1 point. 1 point. Jainio's still in third place. He's under pressure from Jack CD. We haven't concentrated on these battles yet. Will Jack make a move in turn 4? He doesn't, just stays in behind. Bruce Lee's just dropped back a little bit. P. Gibbs running in 6th. Deskyver just off the back now. But a good effort from Deskyver. He got himself into the 31s, a 31.9 on lap 4. Just within a second of Hirakam, which is impressive around the Red Bull Ring. Hirakam exceptionally quick around here, and that really shows you the progress of the drivers who came up from Lobby 2 last season into Lobby 1. It's a good effort. Certainly something to consider next season for the updated regulations, I shall say. I won't go into too much detail, but Hirakam now a lot closer this time coming through turn 9. He just can't get the car turned in at turn 10. Maybe the wash from the back of the rear spoiler of Ruddo's car and the slipstream effects now just working against Hirakam, trying to keep that momentum through those tricky right-handers. Can he get close enough through turn 1? Just doesn't get that momentum off the corner. You see Ruddo extends that advantage, and I think that's where Ruddo is excelling on the circuit at the moment. Hirakam second place. He's got to find some form of avenue that he can create up the inside. It's getting a notification to say that race 1 of Lobby 2 has just completed. Sir Bertus, the champion of Lobby 2 this season, very comfortably so. He even took pole position as well, apparently. But Hirakam still putting the pressure on Ruddo. Ruddo, no stranger to racing, of course, races in the Focus Cup. Knows his way around real life machinery. Hirakam has driven the Focus Cup car as well before as part of a NXTGEN prize. And look at this. This is a much better opportunity for Hirakam. Will he try and make a move at turn 9? Ruddo covers it. And he slows the car right on the apex. Look how close to the back of the rear bumper Hirakam is to Ruddo. And he stays in behind. Good defensive driving from Ruddo. Just stopped his car on the apex. He knew he'd lose momentum. Coming up to 4.5 minutes remaining. Ooh, a little bit of a bounce over the curb and a wobble. But this is his best chance. This is as close as Hirakam's been so far tonight. Going towards turn 3. He's going to look to the outside line. Coming towards turn 3. Will he brake a little bit later? Will he try something different? He'd brake at the same time. He's trying to turn in. Ruddo not turning the steer, and he keeps the position. Hirakam, that was his closest position to getting in front. He's going to have momentum again towards turn 4. We know Ruddo will take the most immediate defensive line possible. Now Hirakam's going to try and go around the outside at turn 4. Tries to get it slowed down, and Ruddo keeps it again in position. Good driving from the pair of them, nice and clean, trying to put the pressure on in turn 6. Round the outside from here. I've not seen that one before, and Ruddo just slows it on the curb. This has just brought Jainho to within 2 seconds again, briefly then. Now these two now know 3.5 minutes, this is their moment. And Hirakam making his moves now. Looks to the outside at turn 9. He slows the car down more than what he would have done originally. Tried to look at turn 10. And Ruddo stops it on the apex again. 1.6 now the gap. The gap is coming down. You can see this. Jainho's getting closer. Jack CD very much closer to the back of Jainho's rear wing. Will he look at turn 1? Oh, he's just hit the back of Jainho actually. That's going to cost him. But look at this. This is an opportunity, is it? No, not quite. Hirakam as well, of course. Don't forget he's won karting championships in the past. He knows what to do as well. Real life experiences for the pair of them. They know how to race. Oh, what a move this could be. Hirakam, he just gets on the power early enough. Has he got the momentum to drag himself along going towards turn 4? Ruddo's trying to squeeze the door, but realistically he can't squeeze any further than that because he's going to push Hirakam off the track. Will he move to the outside at the last moment? He does now. Hirakam sives one up the inside. Just about gets it stopped, but Ruddo now looks to the outside line. He's going to have the inside for turn 5. They rub door handles as they come towards turn 6. Ruddo again trying to keep the turning lock for Hirakam to be as minimal as possible, but Hirakam's held on and he gets the move done. He moves into the lead and the championship swings his way. Great racing between the two. The gap now between second and third, less than a second. That's how hard they've been fighting. Jainho is right in the thick of this now too. Great fighting between these two drivers, absolutely fantastic. But Ruddo will have, I'd say 2 laps potentially to try and get that race lead back. The championship lead is going Hirakam's way currently. He will have time. 1 more lap after this one. Hirakam leading the way. Oh, that's a first little wobble that I've seen from Ruddo in turn 1, but he's got the momentum. So Hirakam's going to be defensive coming towards turn 3. Look at him, he moves straight to the right hand side. The number 37 alongside 24. Ruddo on the outside now. Hirakam brakes a little bit later, perhaps too late. He's gone too deep into the corner and Ruddo will just cleave his way through. And Hirakam, as quickly as he had the lead, loses it. And Ruddo retakes the lead. And the championship swings back his way again. Good fighting. Hirakam just a little bit too late on the brakes. Still got 1 more lap after this. Jainho still having a great fight with Jack CD. I know we haven't covered it, but these two have been watching in the background. It's been fantastic between them. Bruce, P. Gibb, Duskiver, they're all on their own. They're lonesome rather. But this is fabulous between the fight for first and the fight for third. Let's not forget. We know that the fight for first is taking centre stage because of the championship crown, but these two behind, Jainho and Jack, a lot of racing respect there between those two. Now look at Hirakam again trying to go to the outside line at turn 9. Oh, Ruddo wise to that one, just keeps it tight on the apex. Oh, and Hirakam trying to make a little move over the curb, but he couldn't quite get through. He's going to have this final lap. And look how defensive Ruddo goes towards turn 1. He swings back along. Hirakam trying to get the exit that he wants. He gets on the inside, but he hits the back of Ruddo as P. Gibb and Duskiver see the checkered flag now. This is going to be the final lap for the drivers. Hirakam, if he wants to take control of this championship, he's got to make a brave move. He's trying to go his inside now to the outside. He brakes later. How much later does he want to brake going into turn 3? He keeps the car there. Can he get underneath Ruddo? He just can't do it. He's right underneath at the moment. Let's just go on the floor cam just so you can see that's how close. You can see the PMR sticker in front of him. Will he move to the left, to the outside? He does. And he brakes later. He's going to try and go around the outside at turn 4. Will he try and cut to the inside? He tries to. He gets the momentum. He's going to be on the inside for turn 5, but at the outside for turn 6. Ruddo, which line will he take coming towards turn 6? He's a little bit tighter than what he has been before when defending, and he keeps the position. Jainho right there in third place watching this. He's joined in the fun now. But Hirakan won't really be paying too much heed to that. He's got one focus, and that's first place. Ruddo defends to the inside for turn 9. Hirakan swings to the outside line. Can he make any impression at turn 9? He's going to try and go around the outside. I've not seen this done before. He's going to try it, but he can't quite get there. Can he get the run off turn 10? He can't. That's going to be a little bit too far away, and it's going to be Ruddo24 who takes the spoils in race 1. Great racing. Hirakan second, Jainio third, Jack CD fourth, and Bruce Lee in fifth. Great racing. Whew, that was fantastic. Ruddo24 takes a step towards the championship. He went into this event, just looking at it in terms of the update, he went into this event just 3 points clear. Hirakan took pole, 2 points back. He won the race, got 5 points clear, but a fastest lap for Hirakan puts him just 4 points behind Ruddo24. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens in the next one. I'm going to put race 2 starting rather, at 20:51, so the drivers have a little bit of time just to decompose. Not decompose. Not decompose at all. Just to take some time, just to decompress themselves from that race, have a little bit of a moment to themselves, think about what they need to do for the next event. I'll make some changes, of course. Reverse grid based on previous race results. That resets everything for everyone. But there will be time. I'm going to give myself a moment or two just to have a breather. But what I will say to everyone is just have the 10 people and those that are also watching at the moment from other platforming services through Twitch, can you just put a comment in who do you think is going to win this championship? 4 points separating Ruddo and Hirakan. And don't forget, 4 points can be gained from Hirakan if he takes the race win and fastest lap. That means he'd be tied on points, and that would mean a shootout. See how the drivers get on. But what do you think? What do you think? Who do you reckon will win the championship? I'm going to give myself a moment just to catch my breath. Be back shortly. So just having a look through in terms of the comments and everything that's been going on. 1805 saying Gibbo for the race win. It would be amazing, in all honesty, if Gib did take the race win, because he's never won in the Méganes, and it would be the perfect time for him to finish off the end of the season, whilst the championship fight is going on, to say, no, I don't care about a championship, I want my race win, which he's seeked for so long. For so long. Even JPH saying the same thing as well. I mean, it'd be great. It would be great. It'd be a really good feel factor for the championship as well if he did win. But good comment then from Jainio there, saying hanging in for so long for Bruce Lee. You know, got right down to the final round, the penultimate race. P-Kib just saying it's not on in the locker tonight. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. We'll see how everyone gets on. Seeing the comments so far in the championship currently. In terms of Lobby 2 as well, obviously you can't see what's going on in that championship, but I did say that I'd keep a little bit up to date with what's going on in the fight for second place in that championship. Snav at the moment on 218 points, Danzo second on 209, and Silver Fox 40 on 207. But having a look at these recent results, Snav came home in second position, or rather fourth position I should say, in front of Danzo by 1 place and Silver Fox 40 by 3 places. So in terms of their championship fight now, Snav will have I believe it will be a 10-point lead over Danzo going into the final race, and Silver Fox 40 is 5 points further back from Danzo. So that'll be interesting to see how they get on. But we are a minute away from what will occur in the championship of Lobby 1, which is what our focus is on currently. 4 points separates Ruddo, Hirakram, and it's all about to be decided. This is going to be absolutely exciting, I'm fairly certain. I'm just going to put race 2 starting shortly, which it will do. Jainio will need to enter. 1805 giving a comment for Danzo with Lobby 2 there. Yeah, that is the championship effectively right there. 322 points for Ruddo 24. 318 for Hirakram. 4 points in it. 4 points in it. Right then. As Hirakram celebrates the end of almost the end of the season there with a donut right at the end. Ooh, there's a tie-break podium count as well, so let me just have a quick check on that. Oh, wow. So, before we start, this season, Ruddo has won 8 races, Hirakram has won 7. Ruddo's had 7 second places, and Hirakram's had 4 second places. Ruddo's not had any third positions this season, but Hirakram's had 4 of those. Now, I believe with this championship that is based off the podium situation as opposed to other leagues, so it will come down to Hirakram getting a car between himself and Ruddo in the championship, which that's the way it is in this one. But let's get it underway. Final race starts now. So here we go then. The final race of the Mégane series of Season 5. It starts now. So it's Duskiver on the right hand side in that blue and white ITG car. There's P-Gib on the left in the yellow and black steel seal car. Watch out for the 2 championship protagonists on the final row. But for the final time this season, there's 15 minutes on the right hand side. Here come the numbers. And the race is live from the Red Bull Ring. Looks like a really good start from the front pack. It's Janio going a little bit backwards, and Hirakam already up to 5th. Ruddo looking for a move up the inside as well, but Deskyver leads into turn 1. Good effort from him. Bruce Lee going around the outside at turn 1. He's going to get the slipstream as well from Deskyver, so he moves up to 2nd. P Gibb in 3rd, Jack CD 4th, Hirakam in 5th, and then there's a fight going on between Janio and Ruddo. I'm going to try and get the camera angles as early as we can. As we approach turn 1, we're on board with Ruddo. He's looking to the outside. He's going to fly up the outside of everyone. There's contact between himself and Hirakam. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? Hirakam's round. Now, that is a point of contention, ladies and gentlemen. Ruddo certainly braked later and went into the side of Hirakam. Will he slow down? Because, amazingly, Hirakam's pointing in the right direction. But that is something to look at. Absolutely so. But at the moment, Deskyver leading the way. He's 2nd is Bruce Lee Harden, 3rd is Jack CD, and they've got 1.7 to Ruddo. Janio Hirakam, who will see his championship rival. He won't be happy about what happened. And now he only has 13 minutes to try and catch up to the back of Ruddo. Well, that is a very contentious point there, has to be said. P Gibb there in 7th place. He got caught out in all of that as well. That might be reviewed by the stewards. But Deskyver leading the way. Going into the final corner at turn 10, he's going to have a little bit of pressure from Bruce Lee Harden behind. Bruce Lee will want to cap off the season with a race win if he can. He's had a great championship challenge so far. He's going to look to the outside line of Deskyver going into turn 1. Breaks a little bit earlier, doesn't quite get the line right, but stops Jack CD from getting the momentum needed through turn 1. Then it's Ruddo, Janio. Ruddo just flashing the hazard lights there, as you can see Bruce Lee Harden further up the road, trying to go to the outside line at turn number 3. A break a little bit later, slides one round the outside. Deskyver looking to go to the inside. Jack CD gets a great run. He's up the inside of Deskyver. He's got the momentum as well. Will Bruce Lee assist Jack or Deskyver going down towards turn 4? He's going to help Deskyver out. That'll keep their battle running a little bit into turn 4, but Jack breaks later into turn 4 and he moves into 2nd position. Great driving from these 3, trying to keep it as neat and tidy as possible because Ruddo already closing that gap down. Janio in 5th place. Hirakam on a mission. He was 1.7 behind Ruddo. It's only 9/10 now. He's really giving it as much as he can to catch up to the back of everyone. But Bruce and Jack will want to try and pull away. They won't want Deskyver to come along with them. Deskyver running in a podium place in his final race. That'd be a great way to finalise the season. But is the onus with Ruddo? Will he want to try and catch up to the back, or will he just try and limit Janio and Hirakam behind them? Because he is in that position to win this championship. It's all about him. He's got control of his destiny right now. Hirakam with the new fastest lap. The championship standings goes down to 3 points between Ruddo and Hirakam. Bruce Lee under pressure from Jack CD though as they come out of turn 1. Will Bruce Lee look to defend at the inside? He doesn't. He leaves the door open for Jack to come up the inside. Will they try and work together? In fact, Bruce does break a little bit later. So Bruce aiming potentially to work with Jack as he gets a little sideways out of turn 3. Deskyver's going to have to think about defending from Ruddo now. In fact, Ruddo's had his hazard lights on for quite some time. Will Ruddo try and brake later? Into turn 4, he sees the move, he slides one up the inside. In fact, Deskyver just getting out of the way of everyone. And so first sportsmanship from Deskyver. He moves straight out of the way, he doesn't want to get involved. I'm aware that Bruce Lee is following a filler. I know that Jack's a filler, but Bruce will still want to win on circuit. That's the key thing. He'll still want that number 1 position to come up. Even if Jack is a filler, he'll still want that victory. Ruddo, though, at the moment, gaining 18 points in 3rd place. Hirakam on 13. He's technically classified in 4th place. So he's got to get a move on. He's got to get past Janio, who didn't get a good exit there out of turn 10. This is a chance for Hirakam coming towards turn 1. He'll definitely have enough momentum to swing past up the inside, which he does do. Janio, will he fight it? No, he doesn't. He moves out the way. Moves right out the way, does Janio. And now Hirakam has 3 cars in front of him, but he also has Bruce Lee. And we know this season that Bruce Lee has been incredible with his defensive driving. a third of the race done so far. He will not play ball with the championship, but as I say that, he's run deep into turn 3. Literally as I was about to finish my point, Bruce Lee makes the mistake, and Ruddo moves to second, which is effectively first position in the championship standings and in the race. Ruddo with the fastest lap as well, so the gap goes from 3 points to 5. 1 point swing in favour of the Geissen driver. Hirakram in 4th place on circuit, 3rd in reality. Jainio there, then there's Discover, who's sort of fallen a little bit further back, but still good showing from him. Put a nice cameo in at the front for a period of time. Gibb is, I think, enjoying his final race of the season. I think he'll just be happy and content just to drive around. He would be happy as well with a safety car at this point, but that's not going to happen. Jack still leads though. Ruddo second. Bruce Lee going wide out of the final corner. Could have been Hirakram. They're both green and white, so they couldn't quite catch the colour tone. Yeah, currently, thanks Jordan, I was just doing the mental arithmetic needed for that. But Ruddo 11 points clear as it stands. Hirakram's potential record equaling season just slipping away from him. Bruce Lee still has that 1 second penalty to deal with. Yeah, I'm fully aware, Jordan. I'm trying to do it myself as well. Ruddo to the outside. Oh, he's almost turned in a little bit early, and Jack just gives him the room. Jack, though, fighting back coming out of the corner. He's going to have the momentum as well. Oh, he just comes across on Ruddo. But now Ruddo lunges one up the inside at turn 6, and Ruddo takes the lead. He gets that position back. Jack looks to the inside at turn 7. This is what I was talking about before with unique overtakes. Got to try something different. But Ruddo has a clear track in front of him. Is this his chance? This is his moment to try and pull away. He's got 7.5 minutes. That's enough time for roughly 4, maybe 5 laps. I'd say roughly 4 at this point. A 5th final lap effectively would be halfway around the course. Bruce Lee's got Hirakram defending all over. Rather inverse way round, I should say. Hirakram looking to try and get past Bruce Lee, but at the moment, nothing doing there. Can Hirakram maybe make a late lunge going into turn 3? It's going to be hard for him to do so from here, but don't rule it out. Bruce Lee actually just ghosting a little bit because of his penalty. A little bit of a touch in the rear. Spoiler for Bruce Lee. Not ideal for Hirakram. Still 11 points for Ruddo. 6.5 minutes effectively remaining. Hazards flashing around the circuit. Don't think Ruddo's aware of that fact. But he has the championship in his hands. Almost. Still a fair way of this race to go, and anything can happen, and it did last season in Lobby 1. Championship went down to the wire, right to the final race. It's the same here. And Hirakram trying to look away for a way round the outside at turn 9 potentially for Hirakram. Can he go round the outside of the Kappa car on the inside of your screen? Will he look to brake later? He does do a little bit. Can he go round the outside of Bruce Lee? He can't quite get there. Brakes earlier. Has to chop himself back to pieces, and then he gets back up the inside of Bruce Lee Harding. Can he get the momentum needed going in towards turn 1? It looks like he will do. Should be able to seal this on the brakes. He comes across Bruce Lee just to stop him from making any momentum coming off turn 1, but he's still right in the slipstream, so Bruce Lee's certainly not going to be one to give this up. Follows in the wheel tracks. Looks to potentially go to the inside, but he actually backs out of it. You saw the throttle blip there. I don't think Bruce Lee wants to get involved. Hirakram has 5 minutes to catch up to the back of Ruddo and Jack CD. And if there's any driver in the championship that can do it, it is Hirakram. So, a couple of extra points gained for Hirakram. 8 points the total gap in the championship. Thanks to Jordan as well, just to confirm what I've said. But realistically, Hirakam needs to get past not only Jack but Ruddo to pull through what would be quite a big point swing. You have to remember, Hirakam scoring 18 points right now. If the positions were to reverse, that'd be a 6-point swing. That's still not enough. Rudley giving a support to his brother, Matty Rudd, of course, not racing tonight. And look at Jack CD looking for a move up the inside at turn 1. He gets the move done into first place. A little bit wide on the exit going out of turn 1. That's going to cost him a bit of momentum. And here comes Ruddo now, looking to the outside line as they approach turn 3. And Hirakam will be watching this. He'll know that he's got to try and make up as much time as he can. Jack CZ did have a penalty, but Ruddo has the momentum coming off the corner, and he gets that position back. But that's brought Hirakam to within a second now of the leading duo. And look at Jack again, looking for a move at the outside of turn 4. He's not bothered about the championship fight. He just wants to go for it. Look at Jack trying to go to the outside line as they approach turn 6. He's going to try and go around the outside. This hasn't been done yet so far in the races. Clips over the curb. But currently, this has brought Ruddo into the clutches of Hirakam. There's still a car between them. 3 minutes to go in this session now. Enough time for 2 laps. Can Hirakam make any impression? Can anything happen in these next 3 minutes? It certainly can, but it's all going to come down to the abilities of the 3 cars we're watching right now. Ruddo 24, Jack CD and NXTGEN Hirakam. This is where the fight lies. The championship will be decided shortly. Down into 3rd gear. Hirakam backs the car into turn 1. That was a fabulous exit from turn 1. That's the exit he needed. Now, can he get close enough with the slipstream? You've got to be conscious of the fact that Jack also has the slipstream advantage from Ruddo. As they come towards turn 3, Ruddo looks to the inside line just to brake, but Jack's going to look a little bit later. Here comes Hirakam around the outside, but he can't quite get the switch back, or can he? Just taps the back of Jack's car. He was unlucky with that attempt. But Hirakam trying something a little bit different. He's got to try it now. Ruddo still leading, and the championship still going his way. Oh, Jack's gone deep into turn 4. Hirakam goes through, and Ruddo and Hirakam share the same space of track now. The same piece of tarmac. 1 minute 43 to go. Hirakam is going to have to make one of the best moves ever seen in the Méganes from the position he's in right now, to not only get past Ruddo, but then to try and back him up into Bruce Lee Harding. But that is a challenge that's going to face him in these next minute and 22 seconds. Whereas Ruddo, as he comes round this final corner, is 1 lap 10 corners away from winning this championship. Can he do it? He's driven brilliantly all season. He was unfortunate last season with the issues that went on. He had a lot of bad luck earlier in this campaign as well, but he's fought back brilliantly. And now he's 9 corners away from the championship. Hirakam 4 tenths back as they come towards turn 2 for the final time. Turn 3 on the brakes. Will Hirakam try anything into turn 3? He doesn't. Oh, he gets a little bit of a hit in the back, but it actually might have helped him there coming off the corner. Not ideal from Jack, and he's lost the lead train realistically. Hirakam's going to have to try something into turn 4. This is the last conventional overtaking spot he's going to have. He looks for a little shimmy, but he can't quite get close enough. Through turn 4, Ruddo with the hazard still flashing. Hirakam looking towards the inside line. It'll be the outside line. Jack CD's got fastest lap as well, so that's another point taken away from Hirakam. Can Hirakam try and make a move? He can't quite do it through turn 6. He's looking to the outside of turn 7, but again, can't find his way through. Ruddo is 3 corners away from the championship. Hirakram's going to look to try and make a move around the outside, potentially into turn 9. He's going to have the momentum coming off the corner. Will he go around the outside at turn 9? No one's done this before. He's going to have to try it now, but he can't get quite through. Will he have the momentum off turn 10? He doesn't quite have it. Can he get through? He's gone a little bit sideways. They're going to drag it towards the line, but regardless, it's going to be Ruddo 24, who is your champion of Lobby 1. Hirakram wins the race. Jack CD third. What a finish. It was fantastic. Bruce Lee, Jainio, Duskiver and P. Gibb. But your champion is there. Ruddo 24 does it at the final race by the merest of advantages. Well done to Hirakram. I've got to say, it was a fabulous move at the final corner. Really well played. Hirakram ended the Mégane series for himself by a bang, but 1 point separated them in the championship. 1 point. It went Ruddo's way. He is the champion of the Mégane series. That's how close it was. And now I get to do something that I've done every season. I'm going to invite Ruddo into the party, give him an opportunity to have a chat with us. Let's see if we can get him in. And get Ruddo in for the championship. JPH saying as well, can we get Hirakram in? I'll try and get Hirakram in as well. Why not? Let's get the 2 championship protagonists in. So Ruddo 24 and Hirakram have both been invited in. I can hear someone. I'm still not certain who that is. Hello Ruddo, how are you doing? Hirakram's just signed as well. I'd like to say congratulations, Ruddo. You know, you are the champion of the NXTGEN Power Max Renault Mégane Championship here with NXTGEN by 1 point. How's it feel? Ah, brilliant. What I will say, Ruddo, is just to make a quick note, is I don't know if your mic's turned up, but just give it if you haven't got it on the max setting, just give it a dial up. Let's see if that works, because I'm just seeing what the comments say. I can hear you perfectly clear, but everyone else is like, I can't hear you. A couple of people just saying there's nothing wrong with my settings. I will say that much in terms of the party settings. Mark, do you want to Hirakram? Of course. You want to have a chat about things? How did you feel? How are you feeling?
Yeah, it was a tough round. It was a rough end to the season for me. It started off really well, and I did get to a point where I thought, oh, cakewalk, but then it all just... Ruddo came back on form. I made some cock-ups. Obviously, like they said, Brand Hatch was about the worst I've ever driven on this series. So, but no, it was not to take anything away from Ruddo. It was thoroughly deserved. So well done to him, very much so.
said you weren't going to be there last week, it wouldn't have felt right to. It's almost like I would have won the championship by default.
Yeah, it was nice to do it properly. And it's not like we drove around separately the whole time tonight. I think we were attached to bumper for the whole race for each time. So.
Yeah, massively. It was good. I really enjoyed it. Sweating out.
Threw the kitchen sink at you. I tried absolutely everything I've ever thought to try, and it didn't quite work out. So.
I've got to say, just while I know, because obviously you two, I was watching you for most of the race in both events, and following you two, I was saying it on the commentary stream about Hirakam to say that he is trying literally everything, and it's not going to come down to psychological warfare. This is going to come down to racecraft, pure racecraft, and trying something that has not been done before. And then you put the pressure on in that first race here, with like 3 and a bit minutes to go. And I saw that pressure coming on, and you got past, and then the next corner is just, you ran a little bit wide at turn 3, and Ruddo was right underneath you.
Yeah, I'll say there's some drivers, and this goes real life on here, whatever, where you can pretty much write down in a book what they're going to do before they've even done it, but it's a sign of a really good driver, and this is true of Ruddo, that he does something different every time. You can never predict what he's going to do, so you really have to think and try something different. And one lap you might go deep on the brakes and try to go around the outside. The next lap you might try and cut back and brake early, and you just have to constantly keep them guessing. Or like I dropped back for a few laps in the middle of the race and just held back just to make sure we had a gap at the end, just so I could throw everything at him, and nearly worked but not quite. So good race.
Well, yeah, do you know, so Mark had the outright pace over first. Mark is probably 1, 2, 3 tenths a lap quicker in clear air, which is why he picks up the points and poles and fastest laps. So my point of view is I just need to get ahead of him and then just upset his rhythm. And if that means I have to go super defensive, then that's what I'll do. And I know that Mark. Where we've raced each other for the last 3 years now, when he backed off in race, I knew exactly what he was trying to do. I knew that it was a bit of a rest to get us a bit of a gap, and then he was just going to throw everything at it for the last 3 laps. And I was thinking he's making this too easy in the middle part. So yeah, but that's Mark's got outright pace, and I think I just need to just get ahead and defend, which is what I've done every single race.
To be fair to you, like I remember when you first joined this championship, you qualified like a second and a half off me at most races, and now you right on point for every single pole and fastest lap. It's a huge journey you've been on.
Massively, and I think because if you weren't here, then the bar's a little bit lower. If we're honest, you could be a couple of steps off, and I think that proved when you weren't there at Suzuka. When myself and Lee just went round, and it felt like a bit of testing.
I'm loving the respect between the two of you, because you could tell quite clear that pair of you, when you're both racing, you both know what you're going to do, so to speak, and then you know that neither of you is going to make a move that's going to cause upset to the other one, realistically speaking. But I'm also a little bit disappointed because I was hoping you'd have a go at one another because of that.
I think over the last few years, myself and Mark, we haven't had any major issues.
No.
It's close, hard. Yes, there's a bit of door rubbing here and there from both sides, and that's racing. But we don't. I think we've got a respect for each other. And we do talk to each other outside the group sometimes as well. Especially with Mark doing the tests and things like that. And I said to him, if I win the Méganes, then I'll get him a couple of tickets to Donington next week.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that in the post.
I mean,
like you just said, we push the envelope. Like it's one fraction away constantly from ending in a huge accident, but it never did. And that's like, this isn't a slight on anybody else, but you can tell that Or I like to think you can tell that we both race for real, and it just has that extra element to it. But like I say, don't think for a second that's a slight on anybody else in the lobby or anybody who might be listening. Again, like everyone who's been in this championship has been on a huge journey, and it's been amazing to see, and fantastic group of people. So it's been a pleasure to be a part of it.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, like between you two were saying, you know, you two are always on 10/10ths. You know, there's always, you know, when you watch the streams, and, you know, let's not forget Chris as well, who commentated over the last 4 seasons. It'd be wrong to not mention him and the battles that he's seen. And you could always tell watching your fights that it was the absolute maximum attack and the finest of margins that never caused you any incident. But as Hirakam said, looking at the other drivers in the championship who, you know, who've stepped up this season, like Bruce Lee Hardin, and, you know, his racecraft in terms of being able to predict what he does and how his racecraft has changed, even though he doesn't race, so to speak, directly in real life compared to you two. That's the improvements that you've seen season upon season between the two of them. One thing I do want to say, Ruddo, is your brother's just commented earlier saying, don't forget to thank Mum. Yeah. Yeah. The two. I will just say that Jordan has, you know, because obviously he's been unable to race tonight, for varying reasons, and those that I know going on in his life, he's moved and everything at the moment, so he can't do anything. But I wanted to read out a message that he's put, and he just wants to say, firstly, thank you to all the drivers who competed in both lobbies. The league wouldn't run without them, and the racing this season has been incredible. He says, congratulations to Ruddo for beating Hirakam in Lobby 1, and to Sir Burtis, if you're watching as well, because I know Sir Burtis does tune in, for taking to Lobby 2. He's thanked me, not sure why, but thank you anyway. He has said it... I'm not bad. I'm not bad. But he's also... No, I can't do my numbers. That's something that I've got. But Jordan has said, you know, and I did mention this during the stream, that you know, next season in terms of, you know, Thursday leagues, there are going to be changes. You know, we're not sure whether the Méganes will return. It's looking, from my perspective and Jordan's perspective, that could change. So I know for Hirakam there might be something afoot that's not Group 4 that might keep you interested, but there will be some sort of fun stuff going on. Jordan's also thanking Gibbo and Burtis for hosting the lobbies. He said it's a massive help for him to have you guys there to host and help during the season. But in all honesty, just thanks for everybody. He is asking me to switch to the results screen, but I literally have no idea, Jordan, how you... Oh, actually, no, I do know how to do that. There you go. But in all honesty, I think it has been a fantastic season. And watching you two race, and Bruce Lee, Janio, Jack CD, Deskyver, Gibbo and his varying elements of bottling it at times.
Hey, we got a Gibbo for pole. That was
we did.
Entire series.
We got that. We almost had a Gibbo win, which I think would have sent NXTGEN down into, you know, I think the website would have crashed had he have won. I think that would have been the most popular. Yeah, he should have won, and he threw it off. Yeah, he just threw it off the screen and into the grass. But that was that in any case. But Ruddo, just to round off, you are the champion. You know, well done to yourself. You know, forget being the Focus Cup driver. This is the biggest event you'll ever win in your life. So, I was going to say as well. Well, would you? Well, I mean, if to be honest with you, if Huracan could put the budget together, maybe he could join you on track.
If anybody knows anybody who wants to sponsor me, please say something, because I've got no money at the minute. So.
Yeah.
One way or another, I'll be at Donington.
Yeah, and indeed we will. Indeed we will. JPH and PGib both saying they've got £10 and 20p respectively, Mark. So if there's anything you want to, else you want to throw in, feel free. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. But that is it for the Power Max Renault Mégane Trophy here with Next Gen Racing. What a season it has been, full of intrigue, chaos, drama and everything in between. It's been absolutely wonderful on Thursday nights. Do keep an eye out on the Next Gen website in terms of nextgenracing.co.uk to find out more information about the plans for next season. Don't forget to check out on our social medias as well for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord and varying other means of notifications through the Facebook separate page as well. But for the final time this season, I've been Jack TM53, your commentator of Lobby 1, and wherever you might be in the big wide world, have a good one and see you soon.